All right, Oval fans, and I'm not trying to make a Twilight reference here or Captain America Civil War, but I gotta ask the question, are you Team Victoria or are you Team Priscilla? Yes, this video is talking about the fan base of the Oval, and are you on the side that ships Sam and Victoria, or do you ship Black Love? Well, technically either way it's Black Love, but you know what I mean. Between Priscilla and Sam and their marriage. So before going further in the video, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like it. Hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out when I post new content. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Now, let me put it this way. I'm about to turn 30. I've been single for well over a decade. Never even gotten close to a marriage or engagement or anything, obviously, because I would have been in like my mid-teens by the time, the last time I even had a quote-unquote relationship was in the 10th grade, and that lasted like 2 months. So I don't have experience in a long-term relationship nor a marriage, but in my mind, I would root for a marriage. But as I've gotten older and seen friends, family, and got married, divorced, whatever, you realize that marriage relationships are different. It's almost as if like two snowflakes are, no two are alike. Like the experiences of one person can be different. The experiences of one relationship can be completely different than another. Like somebody's relationship that's been 3 years long with a girlfriend, boyfriend could be better than a 10-year marriage of another couple. It really depends. And I'm the kind of person where if I ever get married, I want it to be a one and done, like locked down, like the woman I marry is the one I want to be with for the rest of my life or whatever. So, but then I realized that certain things could happen. You fall out of love, somebody cheats, you grow apart. That kind of stuff happens. And that's why people get divorced. But then again, my generation and the era we live in, marriage definitely doesn't seem to be at the forefront of a lot of people's minds like it was, back in like the 90s, early 2000s, because as we gotten older, you just look at the fact that more people don't prioritize marriage like they used to. It's about establishing careers and, even holding off on having kids until after marriage. I mean, there are just so many factors, not to mention on top of that, if you want to speak finances, student loan debt, some people just can't afford to get married or move out of their parents' house or even buy a home. A lot of factors. So I know I just did this weird opening, breaking stuff down, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of where my stance is, where even though these are fictional characters, I still look at it as, I'm rooting for Sam and Priscilla, but at the same time, I'm not vouching for Sam's infidelity, but at the same time, as a man, men have needs. And I'm not saying that women, when you get married or men, when you get to, basically when a person gets married to their partner, it's not necessarily their duty to be your sex buddy at the drop of a hat. You would think that those needs will be fulfilled at one point in time. Like, I remember doing videos back in season 1 because fans were like, ooh, is Priscilla pregnant? Did she cheat on Sam? Is that why she doesn't want to have sex? What's going on here? But you could see how Sam was being pushed in Victoria's direction. Again, I'm not saying he's innocent of taking the bite of the apple like Eve, but I can understand the circumstances of him getting to that point. Not to mention, it may have been revealed that he's done this before. Look at how long we thought David Harrington never cheated on Veronica, but then we found out about him and Catherine the night of her wedding to Jim. See what I mean? So I will say this much. In terms, believe it or not, I mean, I can kind of see why these two linked up. Victoria feels not attractive, unfulfilled, basically neglect from her husband because Hunter is always chasing after these little young girls and leaving her out in the cold. She wants to feel appreciated, loved, and cared for, and safe. Look at Sam. Seemingly a good man, happily married, wonderful wife. But the problem is, the thing that he needs most as a man, for whatever reason, Priscilla just doesn't want to fulfill those needs. It's almost as if, even though Priscilla isn't cheating on Sam that we know of, Priscilla had kind of like Hunter running around with all these young girls, neglecting neglecting his wife. Priscilla kind of does the same thing, whereas she's not cheating on Sam, but she's putting so much energy, time, and effort into fixing the lives of all of her friends and coworkers that she's not taking care of the person living at home with her. I mean, there have been so many times, even in this last episode, where if somebody even remotely detects that something's wrong in Priscilla's life, she wants to brush it off and not talk about it. But she wants to be all up in, and I don't want to say she wants to be all up in everybody's business, but she's eager to help everybody except for her husband. So without even knowing it, she's been pushing Sam into the arms of another woman. I'm not saying that she deserved to get cheated on. I'm just saying that I can see how people cheat. It's like the old saying goes, like, a man will only take no so many times from a woman before he goes out to find a woman that's going to tell him yes. So again, I'm not saying what Sam did is right, but I'm saying the way the story is being told, I see why he did what he did. I'm not saying it was the right thing, but I'm glad we're seeing both sides of the coin. Somebody actually made a very good comment on the episode review saying, you know what? I think Priscilla might be intimidated by Victoria. First lady status, power, beautiful, all these things. And she might feel the same way about Victoria that Victoria feels about those little girls that, Hunter runs around chasing. Because when you think about it, both Priscilla and Victoria feel left out in the cold by their spouses, and they both have needs that need to be fulfilled. I mean, like Victoria said, she doesn't want his heart, Sam's heart. Your little wife can have that. She has needs, and sadly enough, Sam has had his needs unfulfilled. So hence why he flipped her around like a pancake in the skillet and put the syrup on. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I got a little too visual there. I know it's 1:30 right now. I'm thinking about having pancakes in the morning, but yeah, I feel like the fan base, but I mean, to be honest, like even the scene where they were jogging and whatnot, you see a more light-hearted side of Victoria we really don't see. I mean, sure, when she's not coming on to Sam, these two actually have some very good scenes together. I mean, the chemistry between the actors is great. Again, I'm not trying to say I would root for somebody to cheat on their spouse, but hell, I mean, Sam's been having a better time with Victoria than he has with his wife. I mean, and that's not to say, she's literally been making things hell, from throwing his stuff out, taking his money out of his accounts, and threatening him with a knife. Go on, Sam, do what you got to do. I'm sorry. So, in my mind, as much as I want the marriage to work, Priscilla really hasn't been putting in much effort. Just my opinion. She's been quicker to jump to conclusions than to give her husband the benefit of the doubt. But then again, when you see your husband coming out of the president's residency room with a heart on, it makes you wonder. So thanks so much for tuning in. Let's have a good discussion in the comment section below. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.